Our final guest is one quarter of the impossibly beautiful family musical group The Corrs, who dominated the charts in the 90s and beyond. She's back with her most personal musical offering to date. But before we take a look at that, let's have a look at The Corrs in action. Please welcome the beautifully named Andrea Corr. Hello.
I kind of like Angela.
You liked Angela, OK. So how are you, missus? Are you all right?
I'm good, thanks. Very good, yes.
Now, we haven't seen you for a little while. What have you been up to?
Oh, well, lots of things. I've got this record out now, which is of old songs, which is different for me this time. And, yeah, I did some plays. I did a couple of plays. One here in London and one in Ireland. And I got married.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
Very
a bit
nice.
of stuff going on, yeah.
When did you get married?
2009. 2 years ago. Nearly 2 years ago.
What made you decide to go into acting?
I thought you were going to say to get married.
What made you, was that something you always did?
It was something I've always loved to do, and from growing up. But obviously, with the band, there wasn't much time to indulge that passion. But yeah, I got more time over the last few years.
You're going to do some more?
Oh, I'd love to. I mean, I only finished Jane Eyre and the Gate in Dublin in February. Oh, right. So, yeah.
When did you do Dancing at Lunasa? That was about...
That was before I got married, so that's 2009, I can say that.
That's a brilliant play. Did you have acting lessons, or did you just kind of instinctively kind of find your way through it?
Yeah, well, kind of. I was working with great people, I have to say, and I was kind of, once I got the part, I was flung in at the deep end, so I kind of had to step up to the plate somehow. You know, we had a great director, Anna Mackman, and it's the most incredible play, though. Brian Friel, you know, he's a master. It's you know, you always are discovering something in his work. So, I really loved it. Yeah.
Now, since you performed with the Corrs as a group, you've had an album out in the interim, but this one's very different because it's not necessarily your own music. You're covering other people's. What made you decide to go in that direction?
Well, it kind of was. It was actually the idea of the producers, really. He wanted to meet me after we had done this charity record. And, he was very complimentary about my voice and felt to him he hadn't heard it the way he'd like to hear it. So the idea of doing a record of kind of hidden gems, maybe not the most known of songs, but and first of all I was hesitant, thinking, no, I always write the songs, and that's part of it. But then I got kind of excited about it, going, music is unique in that you can revisit what you felt when you listen to a song, and I thought about that in relation to my own life and the songs that have been lifelines to me. And
did you feel as well, because your solo album, it was critically very well received, but commercially perhaps didn't do as well as you'd hoped. Did that knock you back a wee bit? Good, confidence-wise, it must have been different to think, right, I'm going back in the studio, I'm doing another album.
Yeah. Maybe, I suppose I was a little disillusioned, but at the same time, I still felt, I think the success is in having made the record, and I wrote it, and I feel really happy with it. I wouldn't change a thing about it. So, I have no regrets, because really, if I didn't like where I am now, then I'd have regrets, but I like where I am now, so...
And you've chosen a lot of the songs on this album, haven't you?
Yeah, I've chosen them all, yes.
All of them. So, are you emotionally connected to any of them?
Yeah, well, there's one in particular, I do Roy Orbison's Blue Bayou. Yeah. But our parents were a band as well, and so my mother sang, and actually she sang for the first time when she was live and with an audience when she was pregnant with me. And so they made a recording one time of the songs that they did, and one of them was Blue Bayou. So it's very personal. It's actually really lovely to sing it now.
How
she
lovely.
did, yeah.
Now, would that... families, would that suggest that you might like to be singing perhaps one day with a little person inside you? That's on the cards,
I would love that, yeah.
Very
I
good.
would love it.
Very nice. Well, we look forward to that then.
And obviously, you've not necessarily performed with the Corrs for a wee while, but you're a family, so you can never actually split up, I suppose.
No,
do you just kind of go off, do your own thing, and then do you think you'd ever get back together as a band at all? Or?
I think it's pretty likely, yeah. I mean, we never got a chance to kind of go on our individual path in our 20s like most people do. That's okay, we had a shared passion for the music, but it's kind of good that everybody's getting a chance to fulfill their own particular destiny right now. But I think that it's pretty probable that we'll do something again.
We're talking about achieving anyway, so are you a family of achievers? Or did that come from your mother and father?
I have to say, they had they had an incredible belief in us. Daddy used to always say every year, whatever, 1994, the Corrs will rule the world. 1995, the Corrs will rule the world. And I just kept going, yeah. So no, there was. I think instilling belief in your children is a very good thing.
Now you obviously, because I can remember back in Saturday Kids TV, it was the beautiful Corrs. They used to take,
Even the name is like Corr, you know what I mean? They're gorgeous.
Is it true that your lovely husband, who you've now been with since 2009, is it true that he said you weren't necessarily his type of girl? He thought you'd sit in the corner writing poetry about death.
I know, he shocked me like that. Yeah, because he'd been friends with my brother, so there was quite a lot. We were in each other's company for years, and we still find events, and I go, God, you were there too, so wow. And I said, why didn't you talk to me? And he says, oh, I thought you were lovely, but I thought you were in the corner writing poetry about death.
That's nice.
It's lovely.
That's right. Here's Andrea Corr. She's beautiful, but a little bit of a misery.
Melancholy.
Well, you're going to be performing for us in just a second, so we'll let you go over and get ready. But for now, it's Andrea Corr, everybody. Thank you.